You know what? I ain't gonna lie. After I saw Miami lose and then Georgia lose, I was a little worried about this game right here. But then I remembered it's Mississippi State. Of course we were going to win. What's up, everybody? TN Fanatic here. Hope you all are having a fantastic day and welcome to another post-game reaction. In this one, I am continuing my coverage of the Tennessee Volunteers and their win over Mississippi State. Tennessee beats the Mississippi State Bulldogs 33-14. We have a lot to talk about, especially about this guy right here. So let's dive right in. Okay, so certainly in my opinion, this was a roller coaster of a first half right here. And you know, like many roller coasters, it started with us going up. So, after the Bulldogs' opening drive ends in a 3-and-out, defense, we have a 7-play, 55-yard drive. Now, Mississippi State, they did stop us on third and 7, but we choose to Dan Campbell it here and go for it on fourth down. Now, initially, we did get it. Nico got the yards, but there was a penalty on one of our linemen for pulling the runner. Man, and I thought unnecessary roughness, like I thought that was ticky-tacky. Unreal. Pulling the runner. What? Okay. Now, we were well within field goal range, but Gilbert, you know, last game, he did not kick well. I mean, perhaps that played a factor here in why we went for this. But hey, it ends in 7, 4th and 6, 11:44 in the first. Nico pass complete to Squirrel White, baby, for a 34-yard score, baby. Like, okay, there's no way that my throat is like hurting now, like we are just getting started. But anyway, let's give credit to Squirrel White and also my boy Nico as well. Just perfect throw by Nico to Squirrel White. And you know what? I said in my last Vols video, I said that I wanted to get Squirrel White more involved. Well, great start for us boys right there. Okay, so again, this first half was quite the roller coaster. So we went up. Now we go down. Okay, so midway through the first, we have a 10-play, 58-yard drive that ends abruptly on 2nd and 10 when Dylan Sampson fumbles again. Again, Dylan, your Heisman is slipping from your fingers, bro. His third straight game with a lost fumble. Thankfully, Van Buren, he threw a pick a few minutes later. But Dylan, dude, like that cannot happen when we play Georgia. Like it just cannot happen. I refuse to let it happen. And if it does, I will be bananas. Okay, so you know what? After Van Buren, after he gives us an early Christmas gift here, the football, we drive down. We get to the 1-yard line. And once again, we Dan Campbell it, which, you know what? Talking about Dan Campbell, look, I love his stuff. I love all of his stuff about, you know, biting off the kneecaps and stuff like that. Other times, you know, Dan, he relies on his heart and not his head, when in times he should rely on his head. And in this case, that's exactly what we did here. We choose to go for it on 4th and goal. And we run it with Peyton Lewis for no gain. And you know what? For me, and I'm sure other Vols fans out there, like that was one of those moments where I was like, you know, why can't he just go around the side instead of where all of the people are? You know, why does he think it's smarter to go up the middle where all the human refrigerators are? Like that's not smart, okay? And you know what? Hey, look. I don't know why I was thinking about this, but of course with the Super Bowl with the Seahawks, of course they, you know, like that was that famous call where they chose to pass it and not run it with Marshawn Lynch. So you know what, like we did do the right thing, I guess, just running this ball. But you know what, if we had Marshawn Lynch, if Lewis was built like Marshawn Lynch, we probably would have scored. But again, there's only one Marshawn Lynch. So, yeah. The Bulldogs get that stop. We need a momentum shift. And we do get one here. 1st and 10 at the 27. Nico pass complete to Dante Thornton. A 73-yard score, baby. Now, Nico, he did underthrow this ball a little bit. But hey, you know what? Thornton caught it, and then he scored. That's all that matters, right? And then the Bulldogs, they do have an impressive response here. A 16-play, 75-yard drive. They go for it on a 4th and goal, and then Booth, he runs it in, and now the Bulldogs are on the board. Tennessee, we finished the first half with a pair of field goals. It is 20-7 as we go into the third quarter. I was feeling good, and I'm sure other Vols fans, they were feeling good as well. Until we get the news that Nico was going to be out for the remainder of this game. I think it was an upper body injury. I'm not sure when it happened. I'm assuming it happened on one of our 2 final drives of the first half. I'm assuming that that's where it happens. Nico, he had a few runs in there. He got hit hard, So that's probably where it came from. And so, yeah, Nico is out. But Gaston Moore, you know what? He stepped up. And you know what? He was smart. He made some efficient throws. Which, you know what? Going back to the Bama game, when, Nico came out there, he came out, and then Gaston came in, and then, the first play, he threw a pick. So, yeah, thankfully, he didn't do that here. Plus, if we're talking about, the second half, we, as Vols fans, know that, that is the that's the Dylan Sampson show. We have to give him his due. So, yeah, 1st and 10 at the Mississippi State 33. 3:31 in the third. Sampson, he rushes for a 33-yard score, baby! Woo! Thank goodness for that. It wasn't just Nico, but James Pierce. He also had a little scare as well. Thankfully, he was all right. And Dylan Sampson, he had a little scare here as well. Sorry, earlier in this game, he had a little scare. Thankfully, when he was injured, he got up, under his own power, and he walked off of the field. And then right here, he scores. That's big time right there. As for our defense, they just buckled down, forcing 2 straight punts, and then getting a 4th down stop that seals this win. And once again, we win 33-14. All right, so here's some history here. So this is the first time in 20 years that we've had 3 consecutive 8-win seasons. And yes, even though that, again, this was against Mississippi State, the record is not great. And yes, we did win by 3 scores. This game, it did have its fair share of scary moments for Vols fans. Mainly, again, when Nico went down with that injury. Which, you know what, when that happened, for me, I thought back to when we played South Carolina. I think, if memory serves, we lost to Georgia, but we were still in, the playoff hunt. Then we go to South Carolina, and they just crush us. And Hendon was hurt. I want to say, gosh, I don't want to get it wrong and then have someone, blow me up about it. It was in that game. That I know. That loss to South Carolina, that pretty much knocked us out of the playoff. And you know what? We saw last year with Florida State, them having, a great year. It absolutely was. And then toward the end, Jordan Travis got hurt. And even though the Florida State, they still went unbeaten that year. They were left out of the playoff. They were the first Power 5 school to have an unbeaten season and not get into the playoff. So yeah, having this guy out there, that's pretty important for us. Josh Heupel said in the post game that he doesn't. You know what? he expects Nico to be out there. He expects him to be good to go when we play Georgia. Here's my thoughts on this, okay? We're facing a Bulldogs team that lost to Ole Miss. And, look, I know that team is going to be fuming. Kirby is going to be fuming. And the fans are just going to be so ravenous. With that being said, I would not rush having Nico out there. Look, if he plays, for us against Georgia, awesome, The last thing I want is for Nico to get hurt even worse. Even if we lose to Georgia, which I really hope does not happen, but if we do lose, I don't think it would hurt our playoff chances. Apparently, there are some critics that think the Vols, if they have a 2-loss season, they can't make the playoffs, which I think is ridiculous. Okay, let's think about this for just one moment right here. I believe Alabama is 10. They are ranked 10 right now, and we beat them, and they get to go to the playoff. Not only that, but, you have Penn State and Texas, who are both in the top 5 right now. They're in the playoff. And hey, you know what? Those are great teams. But if I may ask the Longhorn fans and also the Lion fans something, how many of those wins were ranked wins? I know, 9-0, a goose egg. And then you have Notre Dame, who is also in, who, you know what, they lost to Northern Illinois. And you're telling me, if we lose to Georgia, that we're out? I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. And if it happens, oh my gosh, that is absolute robbery. Okay, so to wrap this up, I will say this. Look, if Nico does not go, if he's not good to go, it's all good. Honestly, I don't want to put him out there and then have him be hurt. So, even if Nico does not go, our defense, who has been playing great, they might give Carson Beck some fits here, and then if Dylan Sampson can get rolling, you know what? This game could be a lot closer than what some think. And hey, regardless whether we win or lose, as long as Nico is at least on track to be back, before the end of this season, I think that we will still be in great shape. But fans, that is going to do it for this post-game reaction. Thank you all so much for watching. If you all like this video, hit that subscribe button, click that bell, and you can join our fanatic army. And honey salutes to all of you as always. And I hope that all of you have a fantastic day. Go Vols!